some zombie heads and maybe a Frankenstein head and kind of a traditional sugar skull within keeping like a Halloween and Dias de los Muertos theme. So we've got some, to get started with that, we've got some core roving or some core wool, and we've got some colored roving in kind of monster colors. I've got some zombie green over here, some black and white and red for crazy eyes and things. And of course you'll need your felting foam and your needles. So let's get felting. All right, so we're ready to start doing the core shape for our sugar skull and zombie head. And they're both the kind of the same basic shape. The zombie head is going to be a little bit more flat on top and kind of like a little bit more square, think like Frankenstein head. And then the sugar skull will be kind of more of a light bulb shape where it's round on top and then narrows where the kind of the bony chin is. So to do that, you're going to take your core, and we're going to use kind of quite a bit of core because we want to end up with a kind of a palm-sized shape, like about 4 inches or so. So just take your core and kind of roll it up. And you can also reference the tools and technique video that shows how we do the core shapes. And then take a multi-needle, or you can also use a single needle, but I really like my double multi-needle right here. And as you roll it up, you're just going to kind of poke it as you roll it. Be careful to keep your fingers out of the way, of course, so that you don't accidentally poke yourself. And then it goes pretty quickly, so we'll be making that little kind of potato shape, and then you felt more around the base of it to kind of narrow the base and more compressed around the smaller part, and then kind of you can flatten the top. So you want it to be pretty dense as you get started and kind of, or end up in a kind of, so it doesn't yield as much, so that when we put our little features on it, they'll get kind of compressed down into there. So, all right, we're ready to go to the next step. Okay, so once you have your core shape, and this one we're going to do kind of the sugar skull decoration on. So what you do is this, even though this is, the core is white technically, but it's more of a natural color white, and plus this is like crafting wool, so it has all kinds of different things in there that you don't really want to see on your finished item. So we're gonna take some whiter wool and cover it over. And so you just hold the kind of section of wool top and bottom, and then kind of needle felt it along that edge so that you get like a really kind of a smooth surface. I find that it comes on easier this way than if you're doing it kind of going horizontally. Just it makes it the kind of the surface looks more natural. So if you look right here, you can see how I'm felting it down. And you just want to make this whole thing kind of as smooth as possible, and you'll end up with like this little nice little light bulb shaped sugar skull. They don't have to be like, they're not like real traditional looking skull like, they're more of kind of like cartoony. And I have one right here that I was working on decorating, and so here if you look overhead right here, you can see how I made him kind of have like little flower eyes simply by just surrounding the pupil with like a little bit yellow in the center and then putting just like the kind of a suggestion of petals. And I'm kind of carving out my petals just by kind of poking the wool inwards. And then I made kind of a traditional upside down heart-shaped nose right here. And if you Google like pictures of sugar skulls, you'll be able to see like all the kinds of traditional pictures that they use. And one easy way to kind of continue to decorate your sugar skull is by using some yarn. So you could take like a different kind of colored of yarn and kind of cut off and then you can kind of work it into spirals and things. So if I wanted to put like a spiral on my sugar skull anywhere, I just kind of lay the yarn out like this on the spiral and then take my needle, and starting in the center, you just kind of felt the yarn down. And this is a kind of an easy way to make your sugar skull look really kind of cool, and it's very individual because you can do like all kinds of different stripes and different paisleys or whatever you like. You could also take some other colors and put different little polka dots in different places. Or if you wanted to do like a red line, you just put your wool wherever you're going to want your line to be. And I'm going to show you how I did the mouth on this one. So the mouth, and I'm going to use this kind of blank canvas one over here. The mouth is simply done with kind of like, I start with the center line, and if you had some black yarn, you could kind of make it a little easier on yourself and not have to keep the wool so straight and thin. But I do the center line of the mouth, I take my needle, and I felt along that line. So wherever your needle goes, see how I went kind of off the center right there, your wool is going to go too. So, and you just kind of pull it back over this way or trim off the excess if you feel like you have too much. If you had yarn, that would keep it kind of a little bit more straighter. But so then you take another bit and kind of go above it. And we're going to do the same thing with another piece of, kind of keep it tight right there. And then I kind of connect these parts over here. But you can always kind of fill in the little areas if you don't think you've got enough kind of going on in the top right here. Like I feel like it's not thick enough, the line. Kind of go back over it and just put some more down. And I'm kind of using my needle to kind of grab these little stray fibers and put them kind of back in line with the rest of them. Because when you're working really close, you can totally see how they kind of just go everywhere, and you have to kind of get them under control. So if you're going to make little teeth, you just kind of mark off each little section. I just kind of eyeball it so that So I guess if you worked from the middle, you can also kind of indentation so that you kind of know how many you have. So just with like a little quick needle, I made some little indentations for my teeth so I know how many teeth I'm gonna make. So you have kind of a little sugar skull mouth going on right here with the teeth. And then to do like the nose part, you just kind of, I'm gonna do mine in red. But you could also do like a black nose if you wanted for the sugar skull. And it's simply like an upside down heart. So I just kind of keep that in mind as I'm felting it. And then once I have my kind of features worked in, kind of decide where you want your eyes at. And you could make these like traditional skull eyes where they're, you know, like this one, instead of doing a flower eye on here, I can do kind of like a triangle or an oval. Almost looking like kind of a scary clown or something like that. But you can also kind of do whatever you like. You could go back over this and sew like little beads around it. You could do the flower eyes or star shapes, but you can decorate your sugar skull however you want. So I'm going to show you how to do a really quick little kind of a zombie head. And we're going to take our core, and if you look over here, we're going to kind of cover it the same way that you had covered the sugar skull. So just take your roving and put your zombie colored roving down, holding it firm, and then felt all along kind of top to bottom. So once you have this all covered, then we can get started doing our face decoration. So I'm going to turn him over because he's mostly covered and show you how I went about creating his face. So since he's a zombie, he just kind of has like a little bit of a grr mouth right here. And then I've got one eye kind of partially started, and to make the eye, I just took some white roving and I rolled it on my finger just like I would like a little cotton ball, and I kind of folded it over just like this so that it's kind of puffy. See how puffy it is? And then I'm going to actually kind of felt that on my pad separately. So you just kind of felt a separate little ball for the eye, and then when we attach it, just kind of stick it on there and then felt around the base of it to make sure that it's well attached. I want him to have kind of bug eyes, so I don't want his eyes to kind of go too far down into the base. And then to put like a little pupil on that eye, I'm just going to I want him to have kind of a bloodshot pupil, so I'm going to take some of my red and kind of spread it out over here and give him kind of a hazy look. I'm going to go back to my single needle and just kind of randomly poke down this bloodshot eye thing. You can make a bunch of like kind of fun Halloween eyeballs just by rolling up little pieces of white and putting red over them. And then we'll make him look off in like a really weird direction. So I'm gonna felt my pupil over this way. He's got like a lovely shade of corpse green going on. And this is something kind of really fun and easy that kids might like to do. So if you find you're not getting your eye bloodshot enough, you can always pull some of that red back up in there. And then his mouth and nose are really simple. It's just like little, call these like little watermelon nostril seeds. They look like watermelon seeds to me. So, and he's a zombie. He's kind of far gone, so his nose is already gone. And I have a little bit of gray right here. And we're gonna just kind of add to his zombiness by felting that kind of like under the eye part. So he has like some poor zombie, he's got baggage. It's gonna give him some kind of zombie baggy eyes under here. You could also use like a brown color. Be good too. Okay, and then I have an eyeball already prepared, and this one I thought I would just leave kind of not all the way attached, so it's a little bit too furry. So if you find your eyeball is too furry, you can always felt it down some more. There. All right, now we're ready to go. And I made a little bit of a red place for his eye, because I thought it would be fun if we leave this one like just partially attached. So just kind of lean it like that, right in front of there, and then just felt the base into it. So our poor zombie, look at him, there he's going. And if you want, you can actually take and have some hair. I've got some, this is like some alpaca, and I kind of felted it so that it's kind of like all these little locks are kind of attached in the center. And then you just kind of place them on his head like this and kind of felt them down. Since he's a zombie, his hair is going every which way, so it's not a precise science, this whole zombie making thing. And kind of have a crazy little zombie head. What do you think? It's pretty funny. All right, happy felting. For more adventures in needle felting, please like and subscribe to our channel. And for kits and supplies, check out the link to my Etsy store below. Thanks for watching.